Welcome, students. Go ahead and grab your field journals because today's explainer is going to be an absolutely fascinating biological journey into the stark and sometimes downright brutal reality of wild survival. I am just thrilled to be your field guide today. Out here in the field, using everything from hidden camera traps to GPS tracking and just plain old patient observation through binoculars, biologists have uncovered some animal behaviors that might completely shock you. But as we're going to see, nature has its own deeply ingrained logic. Okay, let's dive right in.
So, I want to start by asking a question that is probably going to challenge everything you think you know about raising offspring. Ready? What makes a truly terrible animal parent? If you were to come out here and observe animals in the wild with us, you'd quickly see that the rules we humans live by, well, they just don't necessarily apply. Sometimes, behaviors that look unimaginably cruel to us are actually incredibly successful survival mechanisms. As a field researcher, my goal today is to show you that what we might intuitively label as terrible parenting is actually a highly effective biological strategy. Think about human parenting, or even emperor penguins who will literally freeze in the Antarctic winds just to protect a single egg. That style heavily focuses on protecting and nurturing the young at all costs. But for so many other species, the wild animal imperative is fundamentally different. The ultimate goal? It's often just ensuring the adult survives to breed another day. It is pure survival of the fittest out here.
Here is the syllabus for today's field trip. 1. Storks and managing scarce resources. 2. Quokkas and the ultimate escape. 3. Chameleons with no time for nests. And 4. A field researcher pop quiz.
All right, let's jump into section 1, storks, managing scarce resources. So our baseline observation begins with the white stork. By tracking these guys with GPS bands, we've seen that these birds seem like the absolute picture of devoted partners. Seriously, they mate for life, which is incredible. They migrate together across these vast distances as a unified team, and the female lays only one clutch of eggs per entire year. If you were just watching them for a day, you'd write in your field journal that they are incredibly invested in their single annual chance at building a family.
But make sure you write this next part down. When our environmental observations show that food is getting low, their biological instinct kicks in with a rapidly escalating, frankly ruthless resource management tactic. Step 1, the parents sense they just don't have enough to feed the chicks. Step 2 is where it gets shocking. They will literally throw every single baby out of the nest. And step 3, in the absolute most extreme droughts, parents will actually eat their own young to sustain themselves. I know, it's really tough to witness through our binoculars, but biologically speaking, saving the adults so they can reproduce in a better year is a winning strategy.
Moving on to section 2, Quokkas, the ultimate escape.
You really have to juxtapose how incredibly adorable the quokka looks against its shockingly ruthless instincts. I mean, they are famously known as the happiest animals on Earth, constantly smiling for tourists taking selfies. But when a quokka mom is being chased by a predator, like a fox, she will actually toss her own baby right out of her pouch and bolt. She does this knowing the predator will stop, get distracted, and go for the much easier catch. The whole strategy boils down to this one crucial, brutal fact. She can make another baby later. Think about the math here. If a mother gets caught, both she and the baby are gone. Game over. By sacrificing the offspring, she guarantees she lives to see another day, and she can just reproduce again. It's a harsh, lightning-fast biological calculation made in the absolute heat of a chase.
All right, section 3, chameleons, no time for nests.
For this one, we're specifically looking at Jackson's chameleon, and I really want you to focus on this massive number, 10 months. Just to put that into perspective for a second, that is longer than a human pregnancy. Because these specific chameleons live in colder, high-altitude environments where external eggs would just freeze solid, their biology had to adapt. So the females actually carry their fertilized eggs safely inside their bodies for up to 10 whole months. It's like a giant biological puzzle of cause and effect. The challenge of a freezing cold environment led to the amazing adaptation of carrying eggs internally. But here is where the so-called terrible parenting comes in. Because they are constantly hunting and climbing high up through the canopy, they make absolutely zero preparation for birth. There's no nest, no little resting period. If a female feels the urge to give birth mid-climb, well, she just gives birth exactly on the spot. The babies simply drop into the leaves below, totally on their own from second number 1.
Okay, section 4, close those field journals. It is time for your field researcher pop quiz. Let's see how sharp your observation skills were today. Question number 1.
Think back to our case study on predator evasion. Which animal sacrifices its young to a predator for an easier escape? Call it out if you know it.
Yes, exactly. The smiling but absolutely ruthless quokka. Mom's survival always comes first.
Okay, moving right along to question 2. Remember who manages their scarce resources the most aggressively? Which animal might actually eat its own young to survive when food is completely wiped out?
Correct. The white stork. They seem like these deeply romantic partners migrating together, but push comes to shove, they will prioritize the adult survival so they can try to raise a clutch again next year.
Excellent work! Now for our final quiz question. Who has 0 time to prepare a nest? Which animal gives birth right on the spot while climbing or hunting, just dropping their babies wherever they happen to fall?
You got it perfectly. It's Jackson's chameleon. After carrying those eggs internally for up to 10 months to beat the cold weather, the actual delivery is literally just a mid-climb drop.
You all absolutely crushed that quiz today. Now, as we pack up our camera traps and observation gear to head back to the lab, I really want to leave you with this final provocative thought. In the wild, is surviving to breed again the only parenting that truly matters? We've just watched storks, quokkas, and chameleons make choices that totally defy human logic, but practically guarantee their species continues. It really forces us to completely redefine what a successful parent even is in the animal kingdom. Keep observing, keep questioning everything, and I'll see you on the next explainer.